Marvel Rivals released their own comic book line that was 6 issues. 2 weeks ago, I talked about the first 3 issues, so now it's time to talk about issues 4 through 6. So of course, if you haven't seen the first 3, make sure to go check out that video and come check out this one. We start off issue 4 with Master Weaver and Spider-Zero talking about the Web of Life, and they realize that there is no chronovium anywhere to help maintain their rule. Something weird is happening, something very terrible, and we see Neymar with a powered up trident. And now we see Iron Fist and the rest of their team trying to find where Jeff went in the arcade. And we hear a loud crackle go through the sky and Iron Fist getting hit in the head. And we see Iron Fist tell Neymar that he has no quarrel with him, but Neymar has a quarrel with him and anyone who stands in his way. But Iron Fist just speed blitzes him and punches him across the face. And then we see Jeff slap Neymar across the face with his tail. And while Neymar's on the floor, he whispers to Jeff saying, "Good, now lead your team to the place we discussed, and I'll meet you there." And now we see everybody's been reunited with Jeff at least. And now we go back to check in on Spider-Man, and he's being Hulk smashed. Which Spider-Man says, "Hey, you kind of say that a lot." And Hulk rebuttals with, "You say thwip a lot." And Spider-Man's like, "I don't technically say thwip, I just kind of do thwip, that doesn't, so it's not the same." And as for Squirrel Girl, she's throwing her acorns all at Wolverine. But no matter what, they're kind of in trouble. They have their back against each other, having no idea how to win this. And this is when they start mentioning what they would really need: a very strong webbed explosive, and a light bulb goes off in their head. And this is where we get to see Squirrel Girl and Spider-Man's team up. And she throws the web acorns at Hulk, completely webbing him entirely. And everybody is completely shook that that just happened. And Squirrel Girl's like, "All right, everybody is next." She webs Strange before he goes into his portal, and then webs the rest of their team completely with these new acorn power-ups. And finally, after that battle, they leave them, and Spider-Man and Squirrel Girl are able to reunite with the rest of the team at Stark Fujikawa Tower. And we get this really funny moment with Luna Snow looking at Squirrel Girl and saying, "Hey Thor, did you do something with your hair?" And now Spider-Man's team starts working on Stark Fujikawa Tower. Luna Snow, Jeff, Spidey, they start webbing and freezing up the entirety of it. And they feel pretty confident that they're honestly going to be able to do this. But of course, that's when Penny and her team arrive. And Doctor Strange initiates the battle, using his Maelstrom of Madness. But of course, the comics do a really good job of showing off the team-ups from the game. So we see Hulk actually put his hand on Doctor Strange's back, giving him the Gamma Charge, making this Maelstrom of Madness insane. We see Spider-Man, Luna Snow, Iron Fist, Captain America, and Squirrel Girl just being flown around like toys, taking so much damage. Until Jeff actually appears behind Strange and Hulk, spitting water at them. And Luna drops down and is able to give Jeff their team up, sending Strange and Hulk a chilling charisma, forcing them to completely retreat. And since they were able to make that space, they start freezing the tower again. And this is a little bit of a funny moment. We see Iron Fist and Luna Snow go to heal Squirrel Girl, and they clear up that joke from earlier about Thor, with Luna Snow still kind of saying Thor has much better hair than Squirrel Girl. And the thing that makes it funny is, similar to like the game, Spider-Man is always asking for heals, and usually Captain America too, just because of the way they're just kind of diving and frontlining, and in this comic, they're asking for heals. And when Jeff comes over to heal them, Spider-Man's so confused, saying, "Why do you attack and heal in the same way, Jeff?" And we see Penny's team devise a plan to get to the top of the tower, with Penny asking Hulk if he's heard of a fastball special. And Hulk mistakenly picks up Venom, and Venom gets so mad, telling him to put them down and release them or they will dismantle him. And Hulk just throws him off, saying, "Fine, puny symbiote," and instead Wolverine wants to try the fastball special. And we see Hulk launch Wolverine through the sky. And Wolverine does crash into the building, but Hulk threw him a little bit too hard and he just flies through the building entirely. And while the teams are still fighting one another, we see Namor hide behind them and call Jeff over, saying it is time. And he tells Jeff that without the Web of Life, this dimension will be cut from the others, ruled by whomever possesses the most chronovium. And that person is Namor. He's gathered all of it and stored it into his trident. And he picks up Jeff and launches them to the top of Stark Fujikawa Tower. And now it's time to destroy it, and once they do, the world will be theirs and all sardines will also be Jeff's. And once they get to the top of the tower, we see Penny start climbing the outside of it, saying only I can do this. And by the time she gets to the top, she realizes Jeff beat her there. And she actually gets a little distracted because she's concerned about how Jeff got there. She's like, "Did Hulk throw you up here? He better not have thrown you up here." But then she snaps back, realizing what the mission is. But of course, Spider-Man webs her from behind, pulling her away from the machine. And Spider-Man calls for Jeff saying, hey, do what you need to do with your little teeth. You're the only one who could do this. And off in the side we hear, no, not the only one. And Neymar appears ready to throw his trident. But Jeff actually headbutts Neymar. Jeff wasn't actually working with Neymar this whole time. He was lying. And now we get to see Penny and Spider-Man finally have the conversation we've been hoping for. At first, Spider-Man's telling her not to because it can destroy this entire timeline. And even worse, you could get hurt. And Penny apologizes saying, I don't want to disappoint you. Even though you're just an alternate universe version of my father, I still care about what you think. And Penny runs out of her mech to run to the button to activate it. And Spidey tells her that he can't do that. He's not your father. I mean, not even a version of her father. Richard Parker was his father. He's Peter Parker, his son. So they're kind of confused whether or not he's another version of her, brother, who knows? Timelines are confusing. Either way, he is not her father. So let's try to talk this out, Penny. As she says, talk it out. No, and she slams the button and we see the rift in the sky and the beam from the machine stay continuous and just get slightly worse because it was too late. The timeline is already too weak. And this is where we see Jeff steal Neymar's trident and start running towards the machine. And he launches himself forward, about to stab it with the trident. And once Jeff collides with it, we see a huge rainbow explosion come out. And Spider-Zero and Master Weaver are so confused, they have no idea what's gonna happen. But for some reason, it's actually working. The web of life and destiny is repairing itself. They had no idea it could do that. And we see Jeff has saved the day. The beam is gone and the crack has finally started to close. And now we get a little post-battle conversation of Penny and Spidey. Penny's pretty disappointed. She thought she had made some weird connection with her father. But Spider-Man tells her, hey, I didn't have a connection with my father either. He passed away when I was 6. Penny didn't find a father and Spidey didn't find a daughter, but they both found family. And as for Jeff and Neymar, we see Jeff just cuddling up with Neymar's leg. And Neymar crouches down to pet him, saying, I'm disappointed I need to start my conquest again, but hey, you did what was right, little one. We have no quarrel and you have earned my respect. And they've done it. They won. The story's over. Or is it? Tokyo 2099 is finally safe, but chaos is still reigning all over the other fractured timelines in the multiverse. And what we get to see are powerful gods and sorcerers able to destroy everything in their path, like Loki and Hela. And we also get to see Thor go back home, and he's very confused because he was just in Tokyo 2099. And we also get to see another timeline. There are wise, chill leaders who just want the best for their people, and we see Black Panther hanging out with Winter Soldier. There's deadly assassins that can kill you before you know they even exist, as we see Black Widow on a mission. And we see hardened, violent soldiers who take every opportunity to jump into battle. And we see Adam Warlock and the Guardians of the Galaxy partnering up with the Punisher fighting on Clintar. But what makes this moment even better is we get to see another team up, and that's Rocket and Punisher's team up, giving Punisher just infinite ammo. And this is what we're left off with. We see both Doctor Dooms arguing with each other in the throne room. And we hear this off in the distance. Doctor Doom, Doctor Doom. 10 minutes ago, I was reading The Voyage of Beagle to my children while they drifted off to sleep. Now I'm here. One of you is going to explain to me why. If you don't, I'm going to get angry. And to quote a respected colleague of mine, you wouldn't like me when I'm angry. And we see the Fantastic Four have arrived in the Marvel Rivals universe. And that is it for these 6 issues of Marvel Rivals. Honestly, I really loved these 6 issues. They were super fun and really well done. They just connected with the audience of the game and just how the game works with the team-ups so beautifully in these stories. Of course, here's the information of all the writers, artists, and things like that. If you guys want to look any of them up, they're right here. But a few things I want to mention before we end off the video. These Marvel Rival books were originally digital only, but they announced that they're actually going to have an April physical release, which it looks like it's going to be a large graphic novel instead of individual issues. I couldn't fully tell, but at least keep an eye out for April. You'll see a physical release of these books. And they also announced that later in the year, probably October, November time, we'll get to see the return of the comics. So after a couple seasons of the Marvel Rivals game story, we'll see them come back with comics to fill in the gaps before we get another season later in the year at the end of the year, which is honestly really cool. Connecting the story even more, giving us more information on these characters is just so cool, building that universe. Other than that though, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. This is my second channel. If you want to go check out my main channel, which is a lot of gaming videos, primarily Marvel Rivals right now, go check it out. Link below. And of course, I stream on Twitch 5 to 9 p.m. PST every day except Sundays. So make sure to go check us out. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.